Hello, this is Mr. Chance again. This is 7th grade's video for Chapter 7, Lesson 5 on pronoun agreement. First thing we need to look at is there is a vocabulary word. This is not the first time we've seen this, but it's popping back up again. It's indefinite pronoun. An indefinite pronoun is a pronoun that does not refer to a specific person, place, thing, or idea. If this sounds like new information to you, please go back and look at the lesson 7.3 video. That will help refresh your memory. While you're doing the work for this lesson, please keep in mind this important rule. A pronoun should agree with its antecedent in number. So what this means is if the antecedent is singular, I use a singular pronoun. If the antecedent is plural, I use a plural pronoun. It's pretty simple, I think. Now, with that simple rule laid out, what we need to do next is look at some specific examples of how this plays out. So I'm going to put the first three examples up on the screen, and then I'll put the second set of examples. There's another three of them for 6 examples total. So here's our first 3 examples. All right. For example 1, I forgot to correct my typo. Oh my goodness. You know, well, these things happen. When 2 or more pronouns are joined by the word and, that should say and, not an. I'm going to put the word and up here. There we go. And I use a plural pronoun. So for example, back to our example, the piano and the violin need tuning because they sound terrible. That seems fair. Here's my pronoun, and the antecedent for this pronoun is both piano and violin. That's 2 things. That's plural. I use a plural pronoun. For example 2, if my singular antecedents are joined by the conjunctions or nor, I use a singular pronoun. So for example, either Joe or Dante will play his guitar. There's my pronoun. And the antecedent here is Joe or Dante. It's only one of them. That's singular. So therefore, I use the singular pronoun. Now, for example 3, this is kind of the weird one. We might end up in a situation in a sentence where the antecedent for a pronoun is compound, but we're still only talking about one person, place, or thing. So let's look at this example. My cousin and her best friend is practicing her music. Now let's see, this sounds a little weird at first until I look carefully. The pronoun her is singular, which means cousin and best friend have to be the same person. Okay, so there's one person who is my cousin and my best friend. We also notice that the verb is singular as well. It's kind of another hint that this is one of these unusual situations, or I messed the sentence up really badly, one of the two. But no, in this case, it's an unusual situation. I'm using the nouns cousin and best friend to describe her. All right, in essence. So that's the first 3 examples. And now I'm going to clear this so that I can set up the next 3 examples, and then we'll be done. Isn't that exciting? I thought so. All right, so let's do a little more cutting and pasting here and change over to a little more user-friendly color for the text. Boom. And let's stretch that out. Outstanding. Okay, so for example 4, some indefinite pronouns are singular, others are plural, and we have to use appropriate pronouns, singular or plural. If you're not clear on which indefinite pronouns are singular, which ones are plural, refer to the types of pronouns handout in resources ELA notes. So let's look at this first one here. One of the girls lost her oboe reed. That's my pronoun, and it refers to one, not to girls. To one, and one I think is fairly obviously singular, right? Only one girl lost the oboe reed. Okay, in this case the prepositional phrase is kind of a distraction, right? Several of the students did their homework. Plural, because this refers back to several. Several. Okay. And several is plural. So I use a plural pronoun. Now, when the antecedent of a singular indefinite pronoun refers to males and females, or it could refer to males and females, use his or her. This isn't necessarily a strict rule of English grammar. It's more a matter of this has become customary in English usage. So, for example, no one should write in his or her book. So these are my singular pronouns, and they're referring back to no one, right? No one is singular, okay? So when I say no one should write in his or her book, I mean no one, male or female, okay? If this is the kind of thing that sounds a little bit awkward, we can also use plurals, right? I could just say students should not write in their books, okay? But then we're not using pronouns, which kind of goes against the point of this lesson. For example 6, some indefinite pronouns can be singular or plural depending on what they refer to. And these indefinite pronouns are any, all, most, and some. Okay, so all of the music is in its original wrapper. That's my pronoun, and it refers back to all. And all here is singular. It's kind of like a collective noun. This is like a collective pronoun, right? All of the music is being treated as one thing, okay? So singular. And this is different than all of the students had their uniforms clean. See, this is plural. And it's referring back to the exact same word, but this time it's plural. And this is one of those situations where paying attention to the prepositional phrases can come in handy, because we will notice, as I'm sure you did, that the object of the preposition here is music. That's singular. The object of the preposition here is students. That's plural. Okay, so watch the prepositional phrases. Every now and then they help, but also keep in mind that prepositional phrases can confuse us in our sentences regarding what are the subjects and singulars and plurals for for verbs and pronouns and things like that. In any event, that's it for this video. When you're done watching this, please go over to quizzes to complete the assignment. And keep in mind that it's not really a quiz, it's just an assignment. Thank you very much, and that's it for this video.